Welcome, fam, to I guess the another preseason edition of the podcast. But this is way too early preseason predictions for the FFFL, and I am joined by none other than Mr. Zachary. Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for joining me and helping give
Yes,
us
sir.
some predictions of what we see. And we don't really have a great structure to this episode, Zach. So it's really just going to be,
We're kind of
kind
flying
of,
by by
yeah,
this whatever the saying is.
yeah, the seat of her pants. I agree. And that's what we are doing. So I'd like to start out, in this episode, the thought is to talk about who we think might win it all and who might be some surprising or surprising teams that could surprise you, and maybe who needs to maybe work on a couple of things or we have concerns. I'd say I almost have concerns with because everybody's riding a high after drafting their team and they feel certain ways, and some might be disappointed, some might be more excited, but in the end the games have to get played and then we'll find out as this goes. But let's see what we think about starting off. Is there any team that you want to start off talking about that might have some championship potential?
The first team that I think I should point out would be Allison.
All right, Allison, let's take a
Um,
look at her team.
it is kicker, hardly know her. I guess we should
Yeah, kicker hardly
specify
know her.
what the team's names are now again. Um,
True.
I think just as far as an all around team, she's got it. She's got young talent. She's got a deep bench. She's got a couple of really, really good players. I mean, I just, and unless something catastrophic happens, I think she is going to be in the hunt for championship.
I
Now,
can
again,
see
that's
that.
also if no trades happen and things like that. But I mean, no one has a bench like hers. Nobody,
Yeah, I
no
do like
one.
her bench a lot. To have
Yeah,
a Chris Olave, a wide receiver one on a team to be on your bench is nice. Jacoby
yeah,
Myers, we'll see how that goes. B Rob is a good backup to have to CMC. Tank Bigsby could have that backfield. Ollie
yeah.
Gordon getting, vaulted into a role with the Madison injury, and he could definitely be heavily involved in Miami. I agree, man. I think I made a note of that for Allison was starting
Yeah,
squad is solid. It's funny. I think she has the lowest projection of anybody or second lowest. But to your point, very young team. Bo Nix only second year in the league. Bajan is third year. Brees is third year, something like that. Ladd second
Lad, Smith
year.
and Jigba.
JSN third year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
anchored with Evan Ingram Montgomery. But
right.
I like it.
But
I like
Tank
that
Bigsby on the
pick.
bench. I mean,
Yeah, lots of good
Brian
stuff.
Robinson Jr., I mean, I just think that she's deep. The only thing I don't really love is Evan Ingram, but I mean, he could be good. I mean,
Yeah, and she stacked him with Bo Nix. I think that was
yeah,
her key of
yeah,
getting somebody to go with him because that was another
yeah,
good option. But yeah, I agree. I like that first start.
yeah.
Well, since you threw one out, I mean, I'll go ahead and throw another team out that I really like. Same division. I like Meow Meow this year
Okay.
as really looking at a potential champion. My note for Glenn was that he's very balanced, and he also has like pass catching running back. So he went out. Gibbs and Swift both catch passes out of the backfield, so that was obviously a focus. But I mean, I like Brian Thomas Jr., Calvin Ridley at wide receiver. He's got a top tier tight end. He has potentially the number one defense in the league with the Denver Broncos. Caleb Johnson in his flex, a young rookie running back that has a lot of potential. But then he also still has Jalen Waddle on his bench. Um, he can play Jared Goff and Justin Herbert in matchups as he would like to. And then some just upside guys. I mean, he has. We'll see what Bashal Tootin does in that backfield with Jacksonville, but he could have part of the mix. But Cedric Tillman, young wide receiver with some promise. Torrey Horton is a rookie, but has basically the starting job. They got rid of MVS there. They're going with Torrey Horton is going to be on the field a lot. So definitely upside swings with his team, but I like his overall squad, and that he tackled certain positions like a Trey McBride to be a top tier tight end in a spot. So I liked
I
all
don't have
that.
mu- I don't have much to add to that. I do like his starting lineup. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm with you on the balanced part, just because his bench isn't terrible, but I think you're just looking at a lot of the upside to a few of the people, which is
sure.
fine. I get it. I
Yeah,
get
no,
it.
that's true. That's
But
true.
yes, Tillman, right? You don't know what you're going to get with him, but he did kind of come on at the end of last year. So maybe he catches bottle in a fire in a bottle. Waddle. We all know the Waddle situation. I mean, I don't. Is he gonna get you 10 points a game? I don't know. You know,
He's got up and downs due to his injury stuff.
yeah.
On the
But
field, he
but
could be good.
a solid team, and I agree with the Goff and Herbert thing. I do like those two quarterbacks actually. Like that's a pretty good little tandem that you can kind of go back and forth depending on the matchup, right?
Yeah, and both protect the ball very, very well. I mean, with
Yeah,
us, we have 6 points for a touchdown passing, but it's also -2 for an interception. So it's a 3-1 instead of a lot of
yeah.
ones that could be a 4-1. So that's also where they protect it. But I like his roster a lot.
Hmm.
What say you? What's another team that you wanted to highlight? Whether that is because you think there's going to be a champion potential, some surprising upside, or hey, maybe there's some opportunity for growth with their team.
So I just want to mention before I even mention the team, I'm pretty sure that he did actually draft. So kudos to you and congratulations once again to EJ.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Whoop whoop.
what a team that he's got as well, at least for the starters. Now, I do have some hesitancy on his team, though.
Okay,
Number one is Alvin Kamara's health. Now,
and James
understandably,
Conner,
if
both
he's
are older running
healthy,
backs.
he's going to get points because they don't have anything. So they'll run the
Yeah,
ball and throw to him and all that. James Conner, you know, but I don't know if everyone knows. I am not a fan of James Conner. I don't love it, but he does put up points at times.
yep,
And then
yep.
he's got a question mark at RJ Harvey. He has looked good. I don't hate the pick, but what's he gonna do? He has to do it, right? But
True. He's a rookie, so you don't know.
I love his wide receivers. His wide receivers are great and young. And I love that he's got Addison sitting there waiting for when he comes back. Um, and then he's got some talent on the bench as well. I mean, it's his bench is pretty close to as stacked as Allison's is.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, Rasheed Rice is not fantastic to have sitting there for 6 weeks, but once he comes back, that's dangerous.
yep.
So, I mean, EJ has a great squad. And again, if he drafted that, great job because what a day he had.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. And he did. He did an awesome job. And I agree. I have him written down as a surprising team too, because I think he's going to surprise by the fact that he has Rasheed Rice and Jordan Addison, who are both on suspensions that'll mean they're not going to play in the beginning of the year.
Right.
Jordan Addison's is 3 games, Rasheed Rice is 6 games. But I would agree with you. I think 1 through 6, like he's got probably the best wide receiver group in our league. As in, I would be comfortable to start any of those players when they are healthy and available. The only
Mm-hmm.
one I would, and I don't think anyone's talked about this, Rasheed Rice also tore his ACL last year, so I do kind of like no one like everyone talked about the suspension for like the legal stuff, but no one's talking about it's tough to come back the year one off of those ACLs, and that's like something that hasn't been discussed, and so I
Right.
don't know
But
if it's just
didn't
not
he
as
do,
much of a concern or
right. But I'm pretty sure he did it early, right? In the season. It
it
was
was like
early.
midway. I think yeah, he missed like the middle of the season. I think
Right.
to it.
And then plus he's getting another 6 weeks. I feel like that's not bad, right? It's kind of giving him time to
Yeah,
get completely healthy, right? Because I
yeah,
agree. I do agree. Most of the time, the first year back is not what you usually see.
yeah. The only thing I don't like is he went three quarterback. I don't love that because I feel like you could
I
have
just
used
was I was
yeah,
just
use
gonna
that in some other
say
way. Even if you wanted to go with a different tight end, and I'm going to say it because Dallas Goddard, I don't know why we continue to see this man getting gassed up all the time, and maybe I missed out on his breakout season, 8 years ago. But like he's always injured, so I almost think like I would have gone probably a backup tight end to a tight end that's often injured and hasn't produced at a high level. That like just to give me another shot rather than a third quarterback. But to your point, man, like to have on your bench Matthew Golden, Rasheed Rice, Jordan Addison, Khalil Shakir, that's very nice. Running back wise, I don't love Jerome Ford because I think you'll be able to use him in the very beginning if you need to. But what do you have on the back end there for running back depth? If he's got a guy that goes down midway through the season, I don't know if Jerome Ford is still helping that team out at that time. And maybe that's when he just goes to having multiple wide receivers, but on the
yeah.
field. But I do like that call out a lot for EJ's squad. Very good squad there. All right. I'm going to throw out another. I'm going to throw out your squad, man. Chubby Down syndrome.
God, I really wish you wouldn't have done that.
Chubby Down syndrome. I got to call you out because you're not going to call yourself out, but I'm going to call it out. I love your starting squad, man. Again, in our league to grab a Brock Bowers and have like a Brock Bowers, a Trey McBride. I think those are two. That's two big wins. But you already had Justin Jefferson with your first pick, able to come back through with like a JT. I assume. Did you come back through with JT after Justin Jefferson? Then
Yeah,
probably Brock, and then getting Brock in the third at that
yeah,
point is a great value. So I loved how it went, and I like this receiving core of Jefferson, Pickens, Buka can't beat it. You got Dak to tie in with George Pickens, Jonathan Taylor, which should have a great year. Also with Chuba Hubbard, who's just a workhorse. There, I mean, they don't have. I'm not too scared. And you picked up Rico Dowdle. I'm not even scared of him taking time. So I love that starting squad. My concern is more of your bench, just because I think they're all older guys. So I do look at it as like I hope Chubb has it. I love Chubb, so I hope he's got it. Darren Waller coming back after being out of the league for a short bit. Adam Thielen's just older. Cooper Cup older. So you have some upside there, though, of guys that have shown they can do it. So we'll have to see how they do it in the season. And that's where I like thumb up in the air. And don't forget, if Joe Mixon actually does come back, you've added a nice piece to your running back depth. So I like the starting squad a whole lot. Bench, hey, if these guys are names that we know, they do well. If they do, you're set, your money. And then he's got a little happy Drake May sitting there in case Dak gets injured.
yeah,
Not a bad guy to be able to throw in there. So I like it a lot, top to bottom.
yeah. Pretty much everything you said, I agree with. I'm not in love with my bench. I mean, I do like my starters. You know, the only thing I'm semi worried about with my starters is Egbuka. You know, if Godwin does come back and he's healthy and looks good, what's that look like for
Yeah,
Egbuka? You know, like it could take his targets and stuff down, but we'll see. But I mean, as far as the Nick Chubb thing, that was just more of a have a backup running back.
dude.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, and he's starting.
again,
He's
we
gonna
all
play. He's
can
gonna start.
agree that if Mixon plays, Mixon's a top five fantasy running back. So
Yep.
I figured grab him for now because it's up in the air if he's going to be out 4 weeks or the season. So
Yeah.
as soon as I hear something, I mean, if he's out for the season, then as soon as I hear that, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
But
No.
until I hear that, I'm going to keep him.
What for Chubb? That you're saying, yeah. I mean, he's going to be a starter right now. I think he's the one starting for him.
Yeah,
In
Chubb.
other
Yeah.
leagues, I'm taking shots at like a Damian Pierce, and if Woody
See,
Marks
that's what
maybe like,
worries me about my Chubb and Mixon pick is that Damian Pierce is there still, and he had a pretty good year last year. Like when he filled in, he did all right.
his dude. I think he ended up averaging like almost 8 yards per carry or something crazy. Like
Yeah.
people don't realize his numbers are
I'm
actually
pretty
really
sure
good.
Sam had him last year, I think. And yeah,
Yeah,
I mean he did well. Very,
yeah.
very well.
So it would be like a tandem backfield, I think, with
Mm-hmm.
Chubb and Pierce. But still, I like it throughout. So nice job on your draft there.
Yeah.
Any other team you want to bring out or call upon?
I don't want to, but I'll do it. I'm going to
Okay.
give Uncle Andy an honorable mention here. It's only because I
The
like his
Ricky's
starting
Rodent
squad.
Rockets.
It's only oh yeah, sorry, Ricky's Rodent Rockets. I
Oh, trust
gotta
me, we go back.
make sure I start getting these names
I
down.
know.
Sorry.
I'm saying.
Uh, honestly, it's just his starters, so hopefully it runs well for him. But uh, it's a pretty good starting lineup. Now, I don't hate Ray Davis, but that's only if something happens to Cook.
Yeah, that backfield's a weird one. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not too much in love with many of the people. Jalen Warren, who knows if he's even going to keep this job, right? Like that's
I don't
been
know, man. They just gave him an extension, dude. They just gave him a 2 year
I get it,
extension.
but why they're not? I mean, they're talking about splitting the backfield.
Oh, that will always happen in the Arthur Smith offense.
Right,
But I almost feel like you have to come into fantasy football now knowing that there's only going to be like 5 to 8 guys that actually do all the work.
oh
Like
yeah, right,
even
right,
yeah, like so you have to understand that you are going to get players like a Jalen Warren more often than you're not.
right. Now I did miss that, but I like Marvin Mims. I think he's kind of a sleeper this year because
Yep.
I think Sutton and Ingram will kind of get double covered here and there, and I think that's going to leave Mims open for some stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't love the bench. Obviously, I had a bunch of the Buffalo guys last year, and they did not do me very well, other than James Cook and Josh Allen. So
Yeah. Buffalo's a tough
good luck with
place.
Keon Coleman there, Uncle Andy. Good luck. You know.
And that's just a hopeful pick. Honestly, it is. It's like he's been talked about a lot, and he's like the only wide receiver they have that does something different than all their other wide receivers. Really, and they're saying
Yeah,
Palmer might take that spot, but I think we've seen enough of Palmer to know what he is, and he isn't. He's a solid wide receiver, but he's nothing great. And so I think
right.
who knows? And Buffalo, just as you know, they spread the ball around a lot. So I think
A
Keon
lot.
helped add a guy that is a could be a stack if whenever he
You just
plays.
have to
But
make sure that if you are Buffalo and you want those people, you need to have three or four of them, and you better pick the right ones to start that week.
I know that's where it gets tough.
I
But
mean,
you're
if you
right.
remember in our league, I had to pick up Mac Hollins, I think it was,
Yeah,
and he just so happened to score two touchdowns, and I won the game that week because of him. Like I won because of
so
him.
weird. I know.
Yeah, but I do love his starting lineup. His starting lineup is beast, and he stole Genty from me. I really was thinking Genty would make it to me.
Well, I know, I like a starting squad, definitely. I have him written down as potential championship contender, really. And I actually like his bench though also. Like I think he's got a good starting squad. And then to me, Jalen Warren could plug in for Tyrone Tracy. I mean, you're probably gonna leave Genty out as long as he's always healthy, but Warren and Tracy can be, intermixed at that point. His wide receiver room is Nico Collins, Xavier Worthy, Mike Evans, and Ricky Pearsall. Like that's a solid first four wide receivers that you're going to have. So he's also got a nice spot on that bench to replace, get some wide receiver help. And even Tucker Kraft is like a sleeper tight end pick this year for a lot of people at
Mm-hmm.
tight end. So really nice squad he's got there. So nice. I agree with that highlight of Andy's roster here. So a few others that I'm gonna just mention. I think Kyle will show his. Kyle's got what I wrote down as a potential surprise team with some like late bloomers that could happen. And I say that due to other issues. Like James Cook, I think will perform better as we get into the season. He didn't have as much time, right? James Cook and Terry McLaurin both going through contract negotiations. Both did neither got some great preseason reps with the team. And so that might just take a little bit for them to get back into the flow of it all. But I could see them, getting right into it. So I like that side of it. Even Andrews was injured, has been injured throughout this like preseason a little bit here and there. I think he comes on. Stephon Diggs, we'll just see what that is, meaning injury coming off of that ACL as well. Older player, but should see the most targets hopefully in that offense. So I like that. And then Stafford, I don't know what he provides. I don't know where he's going to be. So I mentioned a lot of upside, like a surprise team, because I think if things flow right, you're going to see this team will get better as the season progresses due to James Cook and Terry McLaurin just getting acclimated with their team again, and they'll be at. I think it'll take them into like week 4 or 5 to finally be there, whereas others might be a little bit earlier, and then just some upside on his bench there with it as well. What are your thoughts on like a Travis Hunter? Yeah, I don't know
I
where to go.
Here's the thing. In a league like ours, I wasn't going to touch him at all. Period. I wouldn't have taken him in the last round
Yeah.
because from all the reports that I'm hearing, it sounds like that they plan on running him 10 plays a game at wide receiver.
Okay.
Well, if you look at that offense and you look at how they run, if he's only in there for 10 plays, he's maybe going to get targeted 4 of those times.
Yeah.
So are you going to rely on a guy that's getting 4 targets a game, right? And even if he catches all 4, I mean, you're going to need one of them to be a 30, 40, 50, 60 yarder and a touchdown for it to be worth it. You know, you
Yeah.
don't
Well,
want him to catch 4 catches for 25 yards, right? Like that hurts you basically. And so, I got buddies that have defensive player leagues. Now, in that, I would take him for sure because he's
yeah.
got huge upside, right? Being the corner and wide receiver. But
Yeah.
in our league, I just don't see it. Now, I mean, if he starts getting 10 targets a game where he's in the game, when he's in the game, well, then obviously I like him and we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I'm real torn on him on
Yeah.
playing both positions. He's small. I mean,
He'll be a 6 to 8 target guy at the most. So I mean, that's what he's going to be. But he'll hopefully can be efficient with those touches.
right,
Um, but yeah,
right.
but again, I think it's
So
going to be a
real
team
quick,
that gets the ball. Yeah, go ahead.
again, we're going by the seat here. I didn't, yeah, really look at his team. Yeah, he's got a pretty decent squad here. Kyle's got a pretty decent little squad here too.
Yeah, for me, I think you're looking at Saquon being that like that boom play, and maybe Terry can do that for you as well. Otherwise, you got a lot of like guys that are more consistent players, so I don't know how high their ceiling is with
Yeah,
it, but I do think he's got some stuff that could surprise. And if these guys, again, kind of
yeah,
similar to your squad of having maybe some older names, older players that have done it before, and we'll see if they can do it again. All right, that was
yeah.
Kyle's team. Any other team you want to bring up? I still have a couple that I can talk to.
Um, I did want to talk about Tyler's team.
Yep, we'll bring
Um,
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law. That is correct. Um, I feel like he's got a semi good team. Again, don't love his bench, but it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but he needs some things to fall his way for a lot of those guys to be any good at all. Um,
Yeah, we'll see how some of that rides out.
but the starters, as far as those go, I really like all of his starters except for J.K. Dobbins. And I don't dislike J.K. Dobbins. I just don't know how much of this backfield in Denver is going to go to him, R.J. Harvey. I mean, you've got
Yeah,
like, and J.K. Dobbins has been in the league for a while. So I feel like if R.J. Harvey is even as good as J.K. Dobbins, that they're going to put R.J. Harvey in.
yeah, we'll
So,
see. They have different roles in that offense, but
oh, for sure.
I
Yeah,
think
it'll be
I
a
think he'll
different.
still get good use from JK and with our especially in our league. I think JK has more of that value because of the point per carry, so therefore
Yeah,
not as harsh. But you're right. I love his starting lineup. I mean, and he's got the Burrow Chase stack, so he was able to get that, which means that you're going to be able to put up some monster weeks in here. But he was able to get Jamar Chase, Drake London, and DK Metcalf as a starting 3 wide receivers. That's great squad to have right there. I thought Hunter
yeah,
Henry was a very smart tight end pick at the end of
yeah,
your draft. And then you're able to get Joe Burrow and Kyron Williams, and like you mentioned, J.K. Dobbins, like going as RB2. But dude, you could throw in. I think Eckler is going to be like have more touches in that backfield than the other guys. Javante has right now has that role for the starting spot for Dallas. We'll see how that if it stays or not, but I like
Yeah.
that. And then the rest, I'm kind of with you. Things have to fall like right. Even with Javante, he kind of has to fall fall appropriately for him to be a great value all season. But I still like it.
Hmm.
But yeah, some of the pass catchers, what I would say is they lean too much to me towards the safe side, meaning they have maybe higher floors, but they don't really have the ceiling. And usually at the back end of my draft, I'm trying to find guys that have a ceiling. I don't really care as much about that floor. Whereas like his guys, I feel like would be great wide receiver 3 or 4 pieces on a team where you might have some big hitters, but I'd like to see him maybe with another receiver or something that has more big play upside rather than the like target earnings side of that. But good call out for Tyler. But I do, like I
Yeah.
said, I do like his even Braylon Allen. Like he could have a role within that offense, and it sounds like they're trying to for him. I'm gonna bring in well, I guess the Indy. It says Sobros. Indy Sobro cases aces. I don't know what that means, so I apologize if I'm supposed to. Maybe he is so bro. Maybe that's what he is. I don't know. But I want to bring them up because they actually have the highest projection of any team in going into week one. So I definitely want to highlight that fact. But I have some concerns here, Zach, if you'll follow me with it. I feel like while they have the highest projection, I'm concerned with the wide receiver depth on the team. You have Devonte Adams and Zay Flowers as your starting 2 wide receivers. While I don't hate them, I look at both of them as like wide receiver 2 or 3 kind of player. And then you have Rashid Shaheed, which is that boom bust guy that I do love as a pick, and you're in the draft. So I love him as a pick. I just don't love him as being your third wide receiver, and then Wandale as your fourth because Wandale had an insane amount of targets last year, like 140 targets or something, or 150 targets. To tell you all how much 140 or 150 targets are, like that's what the top wide receivers on our team are earning. So you would think, man, Wandale earning top wide receiver targets, right? And then you find out that all those targets are like 3 yards down the field. He's getting nowhere, doing nothing with them. And I think he finished as like with a wide receiver one, meaning a top 12 or 15 number in targets, I think he finishes like wide receiver 45 or something crazy. So even with an insane amount of targets, he still couldn't do it. So I have questions at wide receiver with him. And then like you're gonna have QB decisions all the time between Mahomes and Purdy. Who are you gonna play between those two? I think you're gonna fight that. But I do think the running back room is strong though, man. Christian McCaffrey and Bucky Irving, awesome start. Love those running backs. Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason as your backups, with even Tyler Algier as your fifth. I love it. So I love the wide receiver depth or the running back depth that was built during this process. What say you, Zach? You look like you might have something to add.
Pretty much concur with everything you said.
Yeah. And
You
I don't
know,
like 2 defenses though either. So I don't again I wouldn't do 2 defenses, but
no.
that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can
Yeah.
do there, but again, I would almost say go for a wide receiver. I think try to find one in free agency right now because that's where I see it. But otherwise, like projected to be high, great starting squad. Like I love their running backs and what they have mixed in with that, but you're gonna have to be cautious. I think Njoku comes out hot with Flacco as his quarterback. Does he do as well as the season goes on with a quarterback change? I don't know, but that's one I wanted to highlight there. Of great starting squad. There's some stuff there, but there's also some concerns that I have once we get into their bench. Dr. Sam, we're just gonna bring everybody up here. Because Dr. Sam I have as a high upside team here. I mentioned that because of the bench. I mean, I think he has a lot of upside on his bench specifically. So I like starting squad. I love seeing Devon Achane and Travion Henderson as your 2 running backs just for the receiving side of it. Same with Aaron Jones. All 3 backs are receiving running backs. I like that. Jaden Daniels is going to run the ball in our league. That makes a big deal. CD Lamb, great pick, great player. Jerry Judy, I'm not in love with, so I will say be there. But his bench has upside, Zach. So I'm talking like Roma Dunze, Debo Samuel, Xavier Leggett, Jaden Reed. I would tell you has upside, which he does, but he's got this foot injury that maybe the doctor knows something we don't. Maybe it's not too bad of a foot injury because he definitely is an upside kind of player. But we'll see what he has there. Even Cam Ward having some upside at QB, so he's got a lot of upside on his bench. I like swinging for the fences there. Anything that you have to add to
No, not really. I mean, I want to say that I would just as far as the team goes, the team's good. I like the team, but I'm looking as like week one lineups and matchups, and it's almost like I'd almost put Debo in over Aaron Jones.
Yeah, to see, and that's true. And I would almost say it because
But
I'd
I don't
like to.
know. The Giants' defense are supposed to be world beaters, so
Yes,
I maybe he does have the right idea, but
that's
I
where I
just
think it
don't
is
like
tough.
division rivals, and it's I don't know. They're
Yeah, and
both
I
both
can see
ways
it.
that I'm talking is division games. So
Right,
yeah, I
but
don't know.
he also has two Minnesota players going. Like sometimes I think I do try to mix it up just to have more variety, unless I know because the Bears are a good
Yeah,
defense too. So I mean, it's not like
right,
the Bears aren't a bad defense. That's a good solid defense. I think you bring up a good point
right.
there. Um, and Debo's had the run with Daniels while McLaurin's been out. So I think earlier in the season is when you're going to want to use Debo more often because just because of the chemistry that's been built and they probably have more plays around him, that would be a good idea there. But I like a lot of what he has going on
Yeah,
his team. So a lot of upside here. And really his projection's only low because of the Ravens defense. It's a great defense, but they're playing Buffalo in week one. And so, if he has just a few more points there, his projection would be much higher on the seat, like for this week one matchup. Because otherwise his starting squad looks great. It's just that Ravens defense bringing you down this game coming up because you're playing, the Bills, but otherwise should be good defense to go throughout.
yeah.
Trying to think. I know mine's coming up. So, but did we look at Louis yet? I don't think we looked at Louis and what Louis got going on.
No, I didn't talk about Louis because he took a bunch of players from me.
What players did he take that you wanted?
I wanted
Kelsey.
Pacheco.
I know you wanted Pacheco or Kel. Did you
I
want
wanted
Kelsey?
Pacheco. I wanted Pacheco real bad. And
Well,
who else did he take that I
I mean,
was
he's
like,
heavily invested into the Chiefs. I mean, he is heavily invested there. He's got four Chiefs technically on his team,
maybe
including
it was
the
just Pacheco.
including all the rest of the actual Chiefs defense, all those
Oh
players.
no,
But
no. It was Pacheco and Godwin. He took Godwin like, what are you doing, Louis? Why are you taking my player, man? Like me and Greg got bets going here. I need Godwin
yeah,
over
you
here
need to
on
hold
my
on to
team.
him. Yeah, like I was going to take Javante.
Matter of fact,
Um,
he's injured. I'll trade you for him right now. I'll
Boom,
give
there you
you
go. You got an offer that he
I'll
would
give
take
you
him.
whoever my worst wide receiver is.
Louis definitely has the most questionable players on any roster so far. I mean, seven of his like 15 are basically like so half of
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
his actual players that play the game, not just a team defense. Half of his players are questionable right now. And the reason I highlight Louis, I have him as like a surprise team is because there is a lot of upside here, and he is going for some aged veterans to try to bring him up here. Tyreek Hill, we'll see if he has any more gas left in his tank to see if he can do it. And if he's Tyreek Hill of a couple of years ago, then I think he could. So that could be good. Travis Kelsey, we know he's getting older, but hey, he's crafty. He'll figure out a way. He just seems to always do that. Najee Harris, he doesn't need two eyes. He only needs the one. So therefore, he's got to be able to have that one eye, see the ball into his, grasp, I guess. Godwin is aging just because I think his body is quitting on him all the time, and so therefore he's aging. So I just put like a lot of stuff he is putting onto some of these guys, like even Jawan Jennings. He's in his late 20s now, coming off of an injury too. Uh, Kate Otten just got hurt as well. So he's got a lot of things that need to go his way, but he could be a surprising team. And if these older veterans can pull a little bit of a Toby Keith and be as good as they once was one time, then maybe it'll work out for Louis this year. And Lamar. When you got Lamar, anything could happen for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we go over Bob's team?
We did not.
All right, we got to hit Bob's
Yeah.
team. Well, I'll
That's
wrap it up
another
with Bob's
one.
team. I don't want to wrap it up with my team because I have my team as a questionable team here.
Well, oh, so you want to wrap up with Bob?
I'll wrap up with Bob. I don't like wrapping up with myself. It just feels weird. I'll just be honest. That's why I said that.
That's fine.
But so we'll go to my squad here. My I'm questionable because I just feel like I'm too young. I just went way too young, and that could be detrimental for me. Um, I made the decision to go with Tet over Devonta to start the season. I don't know if that'll go well or not, but again, that's gonna be tough. Devonta is healthy. I might end up throwing it back over. I don't know. So Tet might be switched to Devonta again, but I like my receiving core. I like having Devonta, Tet, Jameson. I do like that, but having Jaden Higgins and Trey Harris as my bench wide receivers, I'm not in love with, and they're young. And then same, I went three running back off the top. I went Jacobs, Chase Brown, and Amar and Hampton. I love that, but after that, I had to kind of get crafty with some guys and be hopeful on a few things. That's where I'm kind of at. I mean, I have a high hope meter here.
You play too many dynasty leagues.
No, man, I think it's just you gotta swing for upside. You gotta.
You're not wrong. I just feel like you have a little too much youth.
Yes, definitely. I would agree. Like I probably have too much dynasty running through my blood now to to get away from some of these guys. But I can't
You
help
got
but
to
take it.
remember, man, sometimes these old men are in the NFL still old because that's just how good they are.
They're good. No, I feel you there. I mean, I the good news is I'm
You have
counting
one of the
on
oldest players in the NFL. So,
what George Kittle.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's still. I mean, he's got enough smelling salt. He can still do smelling salt, so he's doing just
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but no, I will say I'm not counting on these rookies, which is the good part. Except for two, I am kind of on two, but they're like the two highest drafted rookies from this year. Omari and Hampton, like I put him up there with Genty. I don't. I think I would rather have Hampton where I got him than Genty in the first. Like I'd rather go Hampton in the third than Genty in the first for value. I think Genty's better, but just for that
Yeah.
side. And then Tet McMillan, because I went the way I went and I didn't get a wide receiver until the fifth round, that did make going after wide receiver a little tougher. So a little thin there and having to go for I think at that point I had to go for upside because I waited so long to get him.
Yeah.
So that was a little
I feel
tougher.
like your wide receivers are decent for not getting one till the fifth round.
Yeah, I'll take it. So,
Yeah.
but we are counting on some upside here, and that's all.
Right. Right.
That's all I can say for that. All right, let's end it on Bobo. Beat the Swifties. Here's our squad here. He did get a stack of Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown, so he was able to stack that up. What are your thoughts on this man's roster? I had
Pretty
him up
good.
there. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, I was not prepared real well for all this. I'm kind of flying by my seat. So,
Well,
it's
here I'll
like,
let you study it as I throw out a few things to everybody. I really like the starting lineup. I will say I don't know what to make of Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I think we're all just up in the air on what does that look like. So and going up against the Giants, I don't know if I love that as a play starting meaning like starting with Ja'Cory
yeah.
Krosky Merritt. But hey, man, you gotta go into it believing what you believe in, and I'm with you for that in all
Hmm.
honesty. But like otherwise, I really like the roster. I like Hurts, obviously a top tier QB, going to get the rushing attempts. Like with that tush push, going to get touchdowns. That's big. I like Henry and Walker as your top two running backs. AJ Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., two good wide receivers. We'll see if Marvin Kyler can connect this year to do Marv some justice because he's a great wide receiver. But you have Garrett Wilson to fall back on. I think that's going to be a better pick than most are saying. And then even Laporta, I don't love Laporta this year as far as how high he was being drafted. I don't remember where Bob got him, but he backed him up with Tyler Warren, who has a huge upside on his bench. So I like Garrett Wilson, Warren, and Charbonnet on his bench. He has a player of each position, of wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back that I feel he can plug in very well with his
Mhm.
lineup. So I do like that a lot. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a real nice lineup, honestly. Other than um, the, Kenneth Walker, but he has Charbonnet. So I don't love Kenneth Walker. I just can he play a season? Can he play half a season? Like, can he play? Like, I mean,
It's
yes,
him
when
is
he's
his
out there,
injury. If
when
he's
he's out there,
playing
he's great.
correct, and that's where I think you go. And I think I'm learning in fantasy football to be better at with that, and that's why Kenneth Walker is like one of those rare players where I would always I seek out his backup like he did with Charbonnet.
Right.
I think Christian McCaffrey is the same way this year. I want to back him up with like a Brian Robinson or an Isaac Correndo, that kind of thing. Like I think
Hmm.
you want to do that with certain guys. Walker's one of them, but like you said, man, when he's in, he's great. And so
Yeah.
being more okay with taking stuff like that to then say,
Yeah.
okay, but I know like when he's in there, I'm playing him.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't mind his lineup at all. I mean, I don't love the Krosky Merritt pick, but maybe.
yeah, he's just getting steamed up a lot right now, and he sounds like he's got the talent. We'll see what he can do with it, but I think people are just discounting Austin Eckler, and they're also discounting Chris Rodriguez in that backfield. It's a three-person backfield, which is what I don't love
Right.
about it. But hey, I took a Travis Etienne hoping that he'd be the lead, and you're taking Ja'Cory Krosky as if he's going to be the lead and be the guy running in the beginning. So that's kind of why you make those decisions.
Right.
My only thing is like Mooney. I don't know what it looks like this year. They were talking at one point like if they're going to have him at all this year, but it sounded like he's back at practice and doing stuff. Rashad White, I don't know what that injury is or looks like. So and it seems like Sean Tucker's doing well. So we'll see if that one goes. But to me, Romeo Dobbs is always a solid last pick. I'm not. I think as the Packers don't even know who they're throwing to all the time. He's a guy they actually do trust with getting touchdowns and in that area of the field. So I like that one as well.
Yeah.
But but yeah, overall, like I think very well spread out this year. And even those of you who maybe don't love your draft projection at the end, don't go off of projections. Like it means nothing at this point. It really does.
Right. Right.
Uh, we don't know what's going to happen. That's why I like kind of doing this exercise with you to see where we kind of land and what we like and maybe don't like. So
Hmm.
definitely teams with opportunity, but that's every team, and hopefully you're swinging for upside.
Hmm.
Um, to give a rundown, here's who I had at like championship contender. I had four names. I Meow Meow, Ricky's Rodent Rockets, Beat the Swifties, and Chubby Down Syndrome. I like those four as being the top four championship contenders. Then I have my surprise and upside picks. I think Jerry Jones Hate Club, the Cheesehead Champions, Murphy's Law, Leechologist, Suckaditka, and uh, Kicker Hardly Knower as being some surprising teams that have some good upside. And really, it's funny. I put the Indy Sobro Cases Aces and Denzo Winningtons as we might have some challenges coming up here that we need to take care of. Um, both for opposite and in my opinion reasons, but we're gonna have to like look to see what we need to do and be able to maneuver throughout the season. All right,
Yeah.
and that's the same for everybody. You got to maneuver throughout the season still. So the draft gets you started, get you some hope going. Everybody's number one right now. I think even Tage asked me who won the draft, and I told her everybody won the draft. As long as you drafted, you won. So that's what I told her. But she might give some predictions at some point. Who knows?
There
Hey,
was only
Paulie.
two teams with an A grade. I will say that.
Yes. And Case's Ace is one of them, and I'm putting them near the bottom with me. So
which is hilarious because I agree 100%. I think they might end up in a bad spot, bad, and they gave them an A as a grade. So I was like, okay, all right.
yeah, some of the
Maybe
best
they know
teams
something I don't know.
I did. It's funny. Our draft. I I wish I could show it. Our draft actually ended up as one of my. I did a mock for our draft, like probably less than a week before we drafted, and it was like
Yeah,
the one that I actually really liked, and actually went exactly like I did it. So it went everything to plan except for I think I was off on. I think I got like Emeka Buka and Debo instead of a couple others. But either way, it went so close to what I had, and I got the same exact grade. And I'm like, I think it's just because of the first few picks, and after
yeah,
that, it doesn't really. I don't think it
right,
really gives a crap what you're
right.
doing. I did
Yeah,
notice if you didn't take a usually if you don't take like a quarterback early on, it doesn't like that. It wants you to take a quarterback early for those
right,
grades, but always fun to look at them. But again, don't pay enough attention.
right,
And
right.
I think we have it on here. I put it in the stand, but I think they have the. I'm trying to see if they have the whole thing that'll actually show you the playoff, like what they put as your like playoffs. Projected playoff bracket. Here we go. We'll see what ESPN has for the projected playoff bracket, unless they're not going to show me. Oh, maybe they won't show me. Well, it said projected. All right, I guess we'll go with standings. But I know when you go on the app, it'll show you where it actually like has you listed. I don't know if I can't see that on here, if it's just like a different spot in here. But I always like to look at that to see who they actually think is gonna is like leading or is actually in first place to start it off. But
Yeah, I'm not sure where to go to see that.
well, I will tell you that it shows like playoff percentage here. So the top is Suckadicka and Cases Aces at 73%. Next
Right,
is
right.
Bob and Louie. So beat the Swifties and Kyle, sorry. Beat the Swifties and Jerry Jones Hate Club at 72%. Then I'm next at 70. You're next at 68. It has Louis in last place right now. So it does not Louis, it's giving you a 50% chance to make the playoffs. You're I don't think it understands that you are defending champion. So it does not understand these things, Louis. But then it has
Well, and
Tyler.
Louis' team won't be that anyway. He
Yeah,
does he
he's
does
already
waiver
made
wire.
moves.
Yeah, yeah. He does waiver wire stuff a lot.
Let's see. I think we actually have that. We can go to recent activity. The recent activity is well, you added Adam Thielen because you're able to
I
put
did.
Mixon into IR. So
Yeah.
you had an old man Thielen. And then Lecho dropped Zach Ertz to pick up Kate Otten. So he dropped Zach Ertz, a healthy player, to go pick up Kate Otten, who may not be healthy for week one. But hey, understandable. Understandable, Lucifer. I'm with you. It's funny because I like Zach Ertz. He's just gonna get you 8 points every time, but at least he'll get you 8 points every time.
Right. Right.
So it depends on how you want to play it. But
Yeah.
but thank you all. I'll stop sharing my screen so that way you can see us better because you want to see our faces. Thank you for joining me, Zach.
You're
You're looking
welcome.
freshly shaved. That head looks freshly shaved,
I
looking
am
nice,
fresh. Yes, I am
looking
fresh.
slick. I
Fresh,
cut my
fresh.
hair. I cut my hair,
Nice.
trimmed it up. I did that stuff
I
yesterday.
am fresh
But
shaved.
yes.
No, I was actually just trying to get the signature in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We like those jerseys, and I know Andy likes when you move your head so you can see that merino jersey, especially. So
That is one of the nicer ones actually,
yeah, it is.
because the Sanders and the Elway one are like old school throwbacks that are maybe Mitchell and S,
Okay,
or
yeah, yeah.
I can't remember, but the Merino one is a throwback, but it's a brand new Nike jersey. That's a Nike jersey.
Oh,
It's
nice.
brand new.
I
Yeah.
like the fit of those Nike jerseys as well. I like how they
Yeah.
fit.
I actually prefer the Reebok ones because, like, my Edgerrin
Yeah.
James jersey is an old Reebok jersey. I love those. And
Okay.
that Michael Vick one is a Reebok jersey. That's a Reebok.
Yeah. But you like
That
the
doesn't
longer
fit me.
sleeves too. I like the shorter sleeves. So you
Right.
like the
That's
longer
the
sleeves.
Sanders and Elway ones are like
Yeah.
down to here. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, good chatting with you, Zach. Good
Yep.
luck, everybody.
Yeah.
Season
Good
starts
luck,
Thursday.
everyone.
Thursday kicks it off with the Philadelphia Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys. Make sure you get your lineup set. Make sure you do all the stuff to have it adjusted appropriately because we are kicking off in just 2 days. Whoop, whoop. We are ready. All right.
Let's
Much
do
love to
it.
you all out there. Much love to you, Zach, for hopping on with me. Good to see you
Peace
all this
out.
weekend. Fun drafting. Take care of each other.
Yep. Good luck, everybody.
Yep. Deuces.
Love y'all.